Well, still undecided on where to go for the weekend. Well, here's something for basketball fans. Titan is having its first hoops fair at the Country Yard MNL in BGC. Now, joining us for an all-out conversation is Titan Senior Brand Director Nikko Ramos. Good evening to you, Nikko, and welcome back to the show.
Hi, Christine. Thanks for having me. It's always fun to be here.
Well, it's always lovely to have you, Nikko. I mean, you must be a busy person. As we understand, this is actually Titan's first hoops fair. How did this whole thing come about?
We've had for the longest time now an outstanding partnership with Nike basketball and LeBron James. There's a lot of shared values there between us and, the game's greatest player. And I think a lot of it comes down to the Filipino love for the game that is shared and, is felt not just by Filipinos, but for people all around the world who feel this great passion towards this game. And for our fourth footwear collaboration with Nike basketball and LeBron, we felt that the best way to really do it is to celebrate it and really put on a great show and a great experience for everyone to not just enjoy the shoe, not just enjoy the game, but the culture around Manila as one of the world's most vibrant basketball cities, and also the way we enjoy and we play basketball.
Okay, so let's break it down one by one. First, let's talk about the shoe, okay? Of course, this is the highlight for this event. It is the collaboration with NBA superstar, as you mentioned, LeBron James. It is the fourth shoe in his signature line. Tell me a little bit about the shoe, the inspiration for the design.
So one of our favorite wells that we go to is the 1954 Philippine national team that, it's a World Cup year. The World Cup is going to happen in a few weeks. In 1954, the Philippines was a bronze medalist in the World Cup. We were the third best basketball nation in the world by no exaggeration. That's just a fact. So we really like imagining what that time must have been like for the country that loves basketball in such a unique way to be one of the best at playing basketball. And this retro future theme really resonated with us, trying to imagine how must they have imagined what basketball would be like all these years later, all these decades later? How must have they imagined Manila being, a stakeholder city of the game in the world? And that led us to designing the shoe in a super fun, vibrant way that mixes elements of some futuristic hints, some holographic elements that at the same time celebrates this new generation of young, very confident, very outspoken basketball players that we're seeing all around the country.
I mean, it's definitely a great looking shoe. I mean, how long did it take you guys to come up with a final design?
I always like to say that my job over at Titan is to make sure that I get out of the way of talented people. Our creative director, Alan Martin, our chief brand officer, Levon Rondina, and the leadership of our chairman, Dennis Tan, they really, as a creative force, lead our team to really put this together. And, combining with the super talented designers over at Nike basketball and Team LeBron, we're able to put together what I feel is a very, very strong colorway that's so rich in storytelling and just on his own is a head turner. So it's been in the works for, I'd say, the last maybe 12 to 14 months.
Wow.
A lot of long nights, a lot of Zoom meetings, and emails exchanged back and forth, comparing colors, comparing materials, treatments, and things of that nature. But I think it was all well worth it.
Definitely worth it. And you talked to me a little bit earlier, about the history of basketball, and how great and how awesome, we are. Tell me of the story. You did mention something about the story and how this new signature shoe highlights the Filipino culture. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so what we've been noticing so far in Titan's 13 years is the basketball player in 2023 has very stark differences from the basketball player in 2010 in Titan's first year. There are a lot of things that we still share, however, and that's this unique, undying, relentless passion for basketball. But the way that the game is played now, the way that the players value their ability and their space to express themselves and to stand out from other people, these are things that we've seen in this young generation. The shoe is called the LeBron Next Gen, and that's what it's really really celebrating. So we really wanted to tap into that. We really wanted to celebrate that. We really wanted to make this the next generation of Filipino basketball players' shoe in a way that it's designed for them. It's designed for how they perform, how they play the game, but also how they carry themselves and how they put on every time that they take the court, whether it's for a big varsity game, whether it's for a World Cup game representing their nations. There's a lot of next gen athletes on that Gilas team, or whether it's the playoff game for your inter barangay league. These are all games that are super important to this next generation of player.
I mean, I think your timing is perfect. As we all look forward to see Gilas play in a few more weeks. Excitement is definitely building up because one of your special guests is the international man of mystery, basketball podcaster Lay Ellis, and as I understand, Lay is on a mission. Incredible, to play pickup hoops in 20 countries around the world, and Manila will be his 15th stop. How did you find this guy, and how were you able to convince him to come over for this event?
Oh, convincing him was the easiest part. Yeah, no, he had a bag packed all ready to go. Lee is one of the just purest hearts out there in the world of basketball. I've personally been lucky enough to have been following them, back when they were just this tiny blog out of Canada called the Basketball Jones. And, throughout the years, we've just kind of stayed in touch through various trips to NBA All-Star or the NBA Finals and things like that. I've connected with him a couple of times throughout the years, and, the rest of the starters and No Dunks crew. And, a few weeks ago, I had him on my podcast. I had him on the Titan and Slam podcast, and we were just talking about it. And, it just kind of felt natural. I said, we're really trying to show off Manila as one of the, most vibrant basketball cities in the world. You're trying to tour all the important basketball cities in the world. You can't compete. You can't complete this tour if you don't come down to the Philippines. So, it was a very, very quick conversation, Christine. And before you knew it, his bags were packed, and we're expecting him at the airport in an hour and 18 minutes, and he's been texting me nonstop, and he's excited and ready to go.
Okay, well, I'm happy I'm here keeping you up. And I do have a few more questions before I let you head to the airport. Okay, what's happening the weekend? Okay, so we got the shoe. You have, of course, Lee coming in, and of course, we've got an all-star game lined up for the Hoops Fair. And as I understand, Lee's going to be part of that. And tell me about the teams. You have the pros, you have content creators, you have celebrities. How did you come up with this selection? Do we have to volunteer, or you have a long list and then you have to tick off to see who is available?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were a lot of hands up wanting to play in this game. And, believe me, if the Hoops Fair lasted a week, if it lasted a month, we'd have a new team, a new pair of teams to play every single day. But we really wanted to make sure that we ticked off a few boxes. And a lot of those boxes were about the next generation of players. You're seeing on screen, that's Team Lightning. Lee Ellis is leading that team together with Troy Rosario, who's a Deer Valley Titan, a former Gilas player, along with Raver Cruz, who's a very, very big basketball fan as well, and Casey De La Rosa, who I think is the most promising young player we have on our women's national team. They, together with other national team athletes like Andrea Tonko and Justine Domingo of the UP women's team, and inspirational stories like Kat Tan are there on the team as well. And we also have players who we found on TikTok when we put up a TikTok challenge.
Wow.
And they sent us over their skills. They were selected. They're getting ready to suit up, and they're going to play. So Team Crown is being led by Gerald Anderson and Jazz Hoson, who is my favorite point guard in Philippine basketball right now for Ateneo and for Team Philippines, the national team. Eva Nelly is going to be there, as well as Sofia Roman from our national team, as well as Ele Aguinaldo, who's a very big basketball fan. It's going to be very, very exciting. And this team also has a group of talented basketball players that we found through our TikTok challenge. So it's this eclectic mix of an international guy discovering basketball for the first time, national team athletes, some of our best stars from college. Kian Baclan is going to be playing in this game as well. And
Nikko,
There's a lot of people who just really, really, truly love the game, and that we know have loved the game for so long that we can't wait to see how they mix,
Nikko,
how they play against each other and compete.
Nikko, it seems you have the best of the best. I mean, you want the pros, you want the celebs, you want the TikTokers, you want, male, female, whatever. They're all there. Something that we can actually look forward to. The shoes coming out on the August 13th. Is that correct? We can finally get our hands on this. So invite everybody to come out, and of course, how we can get the shoe.
Right. So, I mean, the Hoops Fair starts tomorrow at 11 a.m. We have a boys tournament. We have a girls tournament. We have games. We have a musical performance by Shanty Dope.
Wow.
That we're announcing in about 10 minutes on social media that we have a musical performance by Shanty Dope. I think I just broke the news here. Where is it a better place to break news than CNN, right?
Of course, the only place.
Shanty Dope is going to be performing at the halftime show at the All-Star game on Sunday. The shoe comes out on Sunday. There is no better time to celebrate Philippine basketball. The shoe's available at all of our stores as soon as our stores open on Sunday, and on Titan22.com and the Titan app. And we're on social media, Titan_22. Thank you very much for allowing me to share the good news of what my team, my teammates have been working on so hard over this past few months. And, I'm so proud to be part of that team. And I'm so proud to be sharing the news with everybody here tonight.
Well, Nikko, you definitely are the man to do all of that. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Good luck to you guys in the Titan Hoops Fair, and, head on to the airport.
Thank you very much. I have an Australian to pick up. See you guys soon.
We just spoke to Titan Senior Brand Director, Nikko Ramos.